If you think government and Hollywood propaganda is bad now, get ready, because we may soon be seeing what some are calling climate lockdowns. On Stand Up for the Truth Tuesday, I interviewed author, journalist, and publisher of Climate Depot, Mark Morano, and he pointed out some eye-opening developments you will not hear in the news. These are some things we better be aware of. Here's what he said. Now that we have the lockdown model and have allowed freedom to be restricted in America, don't expect the left to give it up. The question is, will we continue to comply? I'm David Fiorazzo, and this is Christ and Culture. Climate activists are saying we need to follow the lockdown model created to control us. They say if we can shut down the country for a virus, we can shut down the country for climate change, which they refer to as an existential threat to humanity, and especially to America. If AOC, John Kerry, Greta Thunberg, and the UN and others get their way, we'll be seeing a new lockdown to save the climate and the planet. So Mark Morano also said the radical left Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is urging Biden to declare a national climate emergency. Why? Well, just like a blue state governor, Biden would then be able to use emergency powers. Here's some of what Mark Morano said last month to Tucker Carlson on Fox News.
And that's what we're seeing. There's even academics in Australia proposing adding climate change to death certificates. And Bill Gates has said the death toll will be greater. So they're following every step of the way. We have a major UK report coming out. We have an international agency report that came out calling for essentially the same type of lockdowns. Everything from restrictions on your thermostat to restrictions of moving. You can only fly in a climate emergency when it's, quote, morally justifiable. Yeah. They're going after freedom of movement. They're going after private car ownership. They're going after everything it means to be a free person and turning it over to the administrative state.
Alarming? It should be. Mark Morano went on to explain that over in the UK, they've proposed CO2 ration cards that the government or employers would use to monitor your CO2 levels and your energy use. Now, this has also been proposed by a German climate advisor. Now, not surprisingly, some at the World Health Organization are now recommending these climate lockdowns enforced by government to save the planet. Now, of course, Joe Biden Democrats want to pass their radical agenda, the Green New Deal, and if that happens, our freedoms and way of life may end up in the history books, friends. First, there's no climate consensus or science supporting their grandiose claims or global plans, and we are not facing a man-made climate disaster. Most reasonable people understand that climate change is the perfect Trojan horse for the left's global socialist agenda. Check out the book Green Fraud by Mark Morano for much more, because what most people also know is the Green New Deal, it's on a collision course with self-government and our fundamental rights. So along with all the climate propaganda and virtue signaling, prepare for more Democrat double standards. Just for example, last weekend, Bill Gates and other world billionaire elites flew their private jets to a resort in Sun Valley, Idaho, to discuss their plans and schemes. Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Gates, and other globalists attended, and Warren Buffett gave a closing speech. If you don't think the left would manufacture a crisis to push climate lockdowns and further their agenda, then you better go back and check out the Great Reset, vaccine passports, masks for children, communist policy, big tech tyranny, government going door to door, or the true science on climate and viruses. Many of the same schools that teach kids that climate change is a threat to the world are now offering vaccines to children as young as kindergarten, and get this, some of them are doing it without parental consent. This, of course, is all for the greater good, they say. So why are the important concepts of freedom and limited government so hard for the left to follow or understand? Friends, hold the line and stay strong in this fight. God bless you, and keep speaking the truth about things that matter.